This is WRAL News, your number one source for local news.
A shootout today right here along I-95 in Nash County sends 2 deputies and a suspect to the hospital. One deputy was released. The other remains there tonight. And in the past hour, we learned that he was shot by a driver from Florida. The Nash County Sheriff says it's all part of a much larger problem. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Crabtree.
And I'm Deborah Morgan. WRAL has been on the scene all day. Our first alert hit your app at about 10:30 this morning, followed by 2 hours of live coverage on WRAL TV and online. We've had 4 crews on the ground and Sky 5 in the air today to bring you every development as it happened, right up to the news conference that ended less than an hour ago in Nash County. WRAL's Amanda Lamb begins our live team coverage with what we learned in that news conference. Amanda?
So what we learned today, Deborah, was that Shelby Smith, Deputy Shelby Smith, was making a routine traffic stop for speeding. She became uncomfortable. She felt like the driver may be involved in some type of criminal activity. At that time, she called for backup, and Deputy William Toney, a canine officer, a lot of people call him Tommy, arrived. She says that's when the suspect started firing at Toney. Now, the suspect has been identified as 33-year-old Jared Ford of Florida. The sheriff says that Toney was shot 3 times by Ford and that Shelby returned fire, hitting the suspect and wounding him. She then called for help, called EMS and other officers. She held the suspect at gunpoint until other officers and EMS arrived. And of course, they then started working on both the deputy and the suspect. They were taken to Vidant Medical Center in Greenville. Deputy Smith and a trooper who was on the scene were taken to Nash General for some minor issues.
You can believe this violator, if he had his way, he would kill both of those officers, leave them in the road dead, and travel his way back to where he was coming from. They're true heroes out here protecting the interest of our citizens every day.
His personality, you never see Tommy without a smile. He's got a loud, boisterous laugh. You can hear him coming from 2 blocks away. And he's the kind of guy that you just enjoy being around.
Now, the sheriff tells us that he visited Deputy Toney today at the hospital, actually spoke with him. He had surgery today. He says Toney is expected to make a full recovery. And during that press conference, he held up the record of Ford. He showed 11 pages of charges and convictions dating back years in Florida. And again, he said, you know, this is the kind of person that's very dangerous to law enforcement on the road. There are charges pending against him based on what happened today, but of course he is still being treated. He also had surgery at Vidant, and he won't be charged and officially processed here at the Nash County Jail until he is released from the hospital. Deborah.
Incredible story there. Amanda Lamb live in Nash County. Thanks, Amanda. And here's what we know about Deputy Tommy Toney. He's a member of the Nash County K-9 unit where he works alongside Chase. Together, they have tracked down suspects, searched for evidence, and helped find missing children and elderly people. Deputy Toney is from Spring Hope. He started his career as a Rocky Mount police officer and transferred over to the Nash County Sheriff's Office. In 2018, his wife submitted her husband for the QDR Hometown Hero of the Week, saying he has served our community diligently and proudly. She goes on to call him a very generous soul, and she can't count the times he bought a meal for the homeless. You can see him here in this picture, kneeling on the sidewalk, praying with a man on the street.
Wow. Let's take a closer look now at where all of this played out. It was on the side of I-95 where Highway 4 meets the interstate north of Rocky Mount. The road was closed for more than 6 hours today. In fact, it just reopened about 90 minutes ago. WRAL's Joe Fisher joining us now live with a look at how this day unfolded for everyone. Joe?
David, this was a terrifying call that came over the scanners this morning. Dozens of officers swarmed here to I-95 South. All that is left right now is this crime scene tape after this shootout right on the side of one of America's busiest highways.
Deputy's been shot at 144 and a half I-95 southbound. EMS 86 en route. All units en route. Updated information. The suspect is still on scene at gunpoint. All units emergency response for the deputy.
The call for help came in around 10:15 this morning along busy I-95 South near mile marker 144.
The suspect is still on scene at gunpoint. All units emergency response for the deputy.
Sky 5 shows the massive response and the backups that followed after the sheriff says the driver of this Mercedes-Benz started firing shots during a routine speeding stop. Deputy Shelby Smith returned fire, hitting the suspect, 33-year-old Jared Ford, who lost control of his gun in the shuffle.
All EMS and first responders stage. The gun is still on the ground with the suspect. I'll advise further. All EMS and first responders, back off. Stand down. Back off. EMS and first responders do not approach. Authority of the sheriff.
Deputy William Toney, who showed up as backup, was shot at least 3 times. More than 20 evidence markers stretched from the road into a ditch on the side of the highway. Dozens of officers joined the investigation, searching that Mercedes and looking for shell casings on the highway. And the sheriff says William Toney is a 6-year veteran of the Nash County Sheriff's Office. Again, he is at Vidant Medical Center tonight in stable condition. He is talking, and the sheriff says he is in high spirits. Some good news to end this chaotic day. David.
What a remarkable day. Joe Fisher live on the scene in Nash County. And we will stay on top of this story as we move into the evening. WRAL's Julian Grace is picking up the story for our evening news. He'll have the latest update coming up on our news at 7.
2 deadly shootings playing out in Rocky Mount, just a few miles from each other. I want to show you the video from one scene first. On your screen right here is from Sky 5 earlier this afternoon. The person who died here has been identified as 27-year-old Markelius Chambers, died from a gunshot wound. And about 4 miles away on 100 Challenger Court, another person shot and killed there. Both scenes playing out within just minutes of each other this afternoon. Investigators just now releasing the identity of the 27-year-old who was shot and killed on Branch Street. No suspect information as of right now. I want to show you just how close they are. This is the distance. These 2 red locations, a couple of miles from each other. We do have a crew on the way to the scene gathering more details. We'll have that for you tonight on WRAL's 7 o'clock news. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Mark. We are watching the weather closely over the next few days. The morning commute will be a wet one as we look live tonight. No traffic problems out there right now on Wayne Avenue. And this weekend, we could see a wintry mix. Meteorologist Mike Mays is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with details. Mike?
Yeah, Deb, we're looking at Saturday evening and Saturday night for that potential. Let's talk first about the rain in the morning. Maybe a few sprinkles around the area this evening and overnight, but by 5 a.m. we see some bona fide rain coming on in. Temperatures will be in the 40s, so it's not going to be a raw rain. And by 8 a.m. we're full in the rain. Lunchtime it moves on out. And tomorrow afternoon at this time, we should be looking at clearing sky. We are watching a system that will develop in the Gulf of Mexico on Saturday, track to the north and east. Previously, we thought that moisture would be offshore. Now model trends have it moving farther inland. And if that's the case, this is the end result. We have rain. That pink that you see north and west of Raleigh is sleet, and then snow farther north and west. But the track of the low will determine what we see. If it's a little closer to us, it may end up being all rain. If it's a little farther offshore, we have more cold air. It could be more in the way of snow. Now, we had a brand new model come in about 10 minutes ago that I'm going to share with you coming up in less than 15 minutes, outlining what we could see Saturday evening.
Busy few days. Mike, thank you. After peaceful protests gave way to violence in downtown Raleigh this summer, this Sky 5 video at the CVS on Fayetteville Street came to represent the trouble of businesses in that area. Tonight, that CVS is open again, and WRAL's Adam Owens learned it still represents the economic forecast of downtown businesses. He joins us now live to explain that connection. Adam?
Yeah, Deborah, we've seen a lot of people walk past here on Fayetteville Street outside the CVS pharmacy. Many people are glad to see it reopen. I've even seen a few people walk up and take pictures themselves, not only because they like the store, but also what they hope it means for the downtown area. Back in May, peaceful protests during the day led to damaging riots at night. Multiple businesses in downtown Raleigh were damaged, including the CVS on Fayetteville Street.
It was definitely heartbreaking, to go through it, but we're just excited to finally be back.
Downtown Raleigh businesses are also damaged by the pandemic that has office workers working from home and large conventions and events canceled. Last year, Bill King, president of the Downtown Raleigh Alliance, says 33 businesses closed in the downtown area, but just as many also opened.
Because of the virus numbers and where we are with vaccinations, we still don't have the same level of foot traffic that we normally have.
Sarah Moody is a recent investor in downtown. In November, she opened Triangle Pop-Up, a store featuring products by local artists.
It was a little scary.
But she says other business owners are doing the same. They want to be in place when downtown makes a real comeback.
Just trying to stick around and make it through, and hopefully one day things will be, thriving in downtown Raleigh.
And King with the Downtown Raleigh Alliance says there is something we can all do to help these businesses downtown, and that is visit when we can and spend some money. Deborah.
Hopefully people will start coming back. Adam Owens live in Raleigh. Thanks, Adam.
Multiple times a week, we report COVID-19 clusters and outbreaks in long-term care facilities.
The majority of the people that were in there got COVID that first run.
State inspectors tried to stop the rapid spread of coronavirus in nursing homes. And coming up, WRAL investigates the surprise COVID inspections and the potentially deadly violations found during the pandemic.
North Carolina weather is unique. This could mean a few flurries here or a winter storm here. Get expert analysis behind this number. Whenever you're up, I'm on TV. At dark 30, I'm here. How about 6? I'm right here. If you're headed to the office or the dining room, getting the kids ready for school or screen time, I'm right here for you. Tomorrow morning, every morning, only on WRAL Morning News.
They have a gift. Help them open it. This month, get up to $1,000 rebate on a new Yamaha piano. Now at your authorized Yamaha dealer through February 28.
Blockbuster sale. Folks, remember you can get rugs for $70 plus 20% off, 12 months same as cash, and $1,500 handmade wool rugs for just $299. Final days, Rug and Home.
If you don't have final expense insurance, this message is for you. EverQuote AI provides valuable whole life insurance to help cover final expenses. Medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance available to anyone up to 85 years old. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. A guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. Get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Call EverQuote at 984-263-5039.
At Greenfront, we really do rugs differently. Me and my dad actually go to India, Pakistan, and source the newest styles, really the freshest pieces. There's no middleman. That's really how you get the best prices. We know there's a lot of other furniture stores out there, but there's only one Greenfront.
Healthy shopping starts with clean. Now you can take clean wherever you go. Nice and Clean antibacterial hand wipes kill 99.9% of bacteria, and they wipe away dirt too with a kiss of soothing aloe, so they're gentle on your hands. And they're made with plastic-free, plant-based fibers. Pick up Nice and Clean antibacterial hand wipes today at these retailers and your favorite club store, because a healthy planet starts with clean.
WRAL News, winner for Outstanding News Operation.
North Carolina has more than 420 nursing homes. Through the pandemic, 3 of them have avoided a cluster or outbreak of coronavirus, according to regular reports from the Department of Health and Human Services. WRAL Investigates' Cullen Browner is here with a deeper dive into nursing homes navigating COVID. Cullen?
Well, Deborah, let that sink in. 99% of North Carolina nursing homes have experienced at least one outbreak. Of course, with the vaccination clinics, the hope is the worst of the pandemic is over for nursing homes. But the question is, what more could have been done to better protect those vulnerable residents? Well, based on surprise COVID-related state inspections, the answer is a lot.
They were short-staffed prior to COVID, and they've been short-staffed during COVID, and they're short-staffed now.
This woman, who doesn't want to be identified, is talking about the Universal Healthcare Lillington nursing home where her mother lives. The facility's had 2 outbreaks from May 1st to July 21st. 17 staff members and 73 residents got COVID. 19 of those residents died.
No, they did not address it in the very beginning. They spent more time trying to cover up that there was a COVID outbreak than to notify us.
A second ongoing outbreak started October 27th, impacting 34 staff members and at least 31 residents, of which 4 died. WRAL Investigates found the state conducted multiple surprise COVID inspections at the facility and uncovered problems. In July, inspectors themselves weren't screened at the front door, which was a requirement for all visitors. In September, the facility was placed on immediate jeopardy for 5 different violations. Most concerning, not having staff assigned to work only in the COVID positive unit, something our whistleblower tried to do something about months earlier.
And I reported that one nurse, one CNA was seen on the COVID call that was caring for my mother, and then when the state went to investigate, it was turned up to not be substantiated.
We also found troubling surprise inspection results in other homes. At Tower Rehabilitation and Nursing Center in Raleigh, the facility was cited after one resident's son tried to give him a face shield for protection, but the facility staff wouldn't let him keep it, saying it wouldn't be fair to other residents, even though there was no policy on the use of face shields. At Signature Healthcare in Roanoke Rapids, a nurse's aide admitted to working for a week while feeling symptoms of COVID before eventually testing positive. That facility responded by retraining staff about symptoms and when not to come to work. The infraction happened during an outbreak that infected 44 and killed 8 residents.
I think our state needs to recognize that we need to do a better job in reviewing the facilities in these nursing homes, because this is not a shocker, and this hasn't happened overnight.
The inspection results aren't a surprise to this daughter, who has a message for all long-term care facility owners.
Are we going to value the bottom line over these elderly lives? There's 24 people dead, and these are people that, but for COVID and but for being in this facility, they may still be alive today.
Now, some of the most common infractions, including things like not wearing masks properly or not properly disposing of PPE like gowns, but there are some very concerning inspection reports that we found. For instance, one home in the mountains failed to test all of its residents after one of the nurses tested positive for COVID. Within weeks, there were 70 cases, and Deborah, ultimately, 10 people died.
Just heartbreaking. What an eye-opening story. Cullen Browder, live in Raleigh. Thank you, Cullen.
Going to turn our attention now to weather and the forecast meteorologist Mike Mees in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, uttering those words, wintry mix and weekend together. Mike?
Yeah, but it is not going to be a long-standing event. I think it's going to be low impact. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Wanted to tell you more about the approaching rain for tomorrow morning. A little lobe of moisture coming in. The air is very dry here, so when this moves in, we'll probably just see some sprinkles this evening, and that's about it. 60% chance of rain in the morning tomorrow. During the afternoon, we should see the sunshine, 56 the high. Saturday doesn't look bad. It's full sunshine in the morning. The clouds rapidly increase during the day, 53 the high. Looking for a wintry mix from Raleigh north and west in the evening. Sunday morning, some rain, and then during the afternoon, dry, cooler, 48. So let's check out the brand new run of Futurecast that just came in, starting at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. And there's your sunshine for Saturday morning. Quickly building up to the north and east will be the cloud cover. So by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we're looking at an overcast at that point. There's the snow off to the west in the mountains, some wintry mix up in the northern Georgia mountains, rain across South Carolina. But notice as we head into 7 o'clock in the evening, once the moisture starts to arrive, we see rain. It's showing a little bit of blue, a little bit of pink. The blue, of course, would be snow. The pink would be sleet. It's not going to be freezing rain this time around because the air temperatures will be just too warm. So it's more going to be a sleet event and a snow event. 8 o'clock in the evening, you can see little pockets of sleet showing up with the rain here in the triangle. More in the way of snow north and west. More of a sleet event off to the west into the triad. And as we get more moisture to come in and it starts coming down more steadily, by 9 o'clock, we see more sleet showing up in the northern counties, north and west of Raleigh. By 10 o'clock, pretty good coverage of sleet in our northern counties, snow up into southern Virginia. And unfortunately, this high-resolution model ends at 11 o'clock Saturday night. But the general trend is warmer air to come in, the frozen activity gets pushed north and west, and everyone should see rain throughout the night Saturday into Sunday morning. Now, the next big story next week is going to be the tremendous, brutal cold on the way. 18 right now in Minneapolis, the leading edge of that colder air starting to move into the U.S. and up to the north across northern Canada. Minus 50 to minus 30 air temperatures. These aren't wind chills. This is actual air temperature. And as it moves down to the south, by the time we get to Saturday morning, the lows across northern Minnesota and Wisconsin could be as low as 30 below. Not a wind chill, actual air temperature, and this makes its way to the south. And what we see right now is the core of this cold Arctic brutal air never really makes its way into North Carolina. It stays across the plain states and up to the north, and this is actually the polar vortex containing all this cold, and it hovers around southern Canada and the northern plains. We just get a taste of it as we head into next week by Friday and into Valentine's Day weekend. We'll continue to track to see the impacts it will have here, but it is going to be a big story next week. So lows tonight will be in the 40s. We had 23 this morning. Not going to see that tonight. It's all liquid. It'll be a chilly start during the afternoon, up into the 50s if we have enough sunshine later in the day. 7-day forecast, lots of 50s showing up, 48 on Sunday, that wintry mix Saturday night, Sunday morning some rain, dry Monday, more rain on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday, big question marks about will we have enough cold air here from that polar vortex? Remains to be seen. David?
We're getting some breaking news from Roxborough. I want to take you to the scene right now. Sky 5 over the scene. Several different scenes, 3 in fact. Our photojournalists can pull out from the scene. You can get an idea of where things are all unfolding. This is in Person County, and investigators are telling us that they're trying to determine exactly how these are all pieced together. It's unconfirmed if this is in fact a standoff or not, but you can see from this live Sky 5 shot here this evening, there is a huge police presence there. Our Keely Arthur is on the scene on the ground, gathering information. We are being told that there is an armed individual inside one of the homes. This is near the Allensville Police Department, Fire Department rather. We will gather more details as we get them here in the live center this evening. Stay tuned as we go into our 7 o'clock newscast as well. Back to you.
Wow, what a day. Mark, thank you. Chris Lee is here. Now, you know, I've been to both the Dean Dome and Cameron for Battle of the Blues over the years. I can't imagine it being empty at Cameron.
I cannot either. The Battle of the Blues, the last time we saw at Cameron Indoor Stadium was absolutely packed. Now, 11 months later, the same game is being revisited in the same arena with no fans. Coach K and Roy Williams react to this new world in their rivalry. Next.
Here's the current time and temperature, sponsored by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas.
I'm Jason Waller, founder of Power Home Solar. It's time to lower your electric bills and fight against power outages. Call us at 1-800-POWER90 and go solar on us for the first 12 months. Power Home Solar and Generac, the new superpower in home energy.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand. Don't miss the chance to get 0% financing for 60 months on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Expedition. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer today.
At Batteries Plus, we power family road trips. We power bedtime stories. We power our local hospitals. We power connections with friends. We do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. How powerful is that? Need a phone fixed? We got it. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
First 6-function multi-pro tailgate available in the GMC Sierra. Current eligible non-GM owners get over $5,200 purchase allowance on 2021 Sierra light-duty crew cab models.
Take control of your future with Skills to Succeed from Miller Mott College.
To earn a paycheck, doing something I love is great. It's awesome. It's never too late to go for your dreams.
With career-specific training in healthcare, CDL, and criminal justice, our programs match the needs of the market.
My name is Jay, and I'm a graduate of Miller Mott College.
It's your future. Prepare for it with skills training. Visit miller-mott.edu.
I'm Jason Waller, founder of Power Home Solar. It's time to lower your electric bills and fight against power outages. Call us at 1-800-POWER90 and go solar on us for the first 12 months. Power Home Solar and Generac, the new superpower in home energy.
There are some new COVID-19 protocols for the Carolina Hurricanes that they have to adhere to tonight when they face off against the Chicago Blackhawks at 8 o'clock. Just today, the NHL released these changes. One of those changes is removing the glass behind the bench area to allow air to more freely flow, and also more spacing for players and locker rooms. Head coach Rod Brindamore welcomes these changes.
It's a little easier in the hotels because we have ballrooms. You know, at the rink is what they're really trying to, I think, avoid, because we're in tighter spots. So it'll be an adjustment tonight and probably for the next little while we kind of work out the kinks on all that. But, you know, at the end of the day, puck drops, we got to go play.
My very first day of being on air here at WRAL was this night, March 7th, 2020. It was the very last time the Battle of the Blues was played and the last regular season college basketball game this area saw with fans at full capacity. Saturday, Duke and North Carolina will reconvene their storied rivalry at Cameron Indoor Stadium, this time without fans, being in the middle of the pandemic and also with both teams struggling, which had both head coaches reflecting on how different Saturday will be for them.
What has to happen is we have to get a certain level of energy without that. And that's another goal that you have as a leader, you know, during this time, is to get that energy up. It'll never be as up as it is with that crowd. It's impossible.
It's such a different world that we live in, but also I'm very happy about the fact that it's a different world for me as a coach to understand what the kids are going through every single day. It's different. It's hard trying to figure out what those kids are feeling.
Doesn't feel the same right now, but when it's game time, man, it'll still be the same storied rivalry. North Carolina versus Duke, Part 1, Saturday at 6 o'clock at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Very different this year.
Oh, no question. Chris, thank you. And thanks for joining us. We have one more piece of breaking news tonight. In the past 15 minutes, Johnson & Johnson has asked the FDA for emergency use of its one-shot vaccine. More about this on Nightly News.
And our next newscast is at 7 o'clock with a conversation with the president of the UNC system. Have a great night, everyone.